Hey, crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and it's been a weekend, folks. I can tell you, to have only 4 days to have worked this week, it has absolutely been crazy. I think it was quite possibly one of the longest weeks I have had, and I don't know when. And I don't know, just crazy. So, hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Thanks for jumping on the chat. And I see Joydy was there. She said she got her front row seat and she was ready and waiting for the show to begin. So let's hope we don't disappoint tonight. Hey, Katrina, thanks for being here. Jen, thanks for joining us tonight. There's Inez from Newfoundland up in Canada. I bet she is probably having much cooler weather up there than I'm having. And I have to keep leaning up to work on the laptop tonight because this weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, my new sewing desk arrived. I'm really excited. Love the way it turned out. I have had this sewing desk on every wall in this room at least once, if not twice. I don't know. Been a lot of reorganizing this week to try to make everything fit, make everything the way John wants it. And then getting ready for the live tonight, realized I've stuck my mouse somewhere and I have no idea where I stuck that mouse. So you know what? We are going to make it happen though. Katrina says dreary and wet Florida. Oh, tell you what, when Florida's wet, Florida's wet. I remember being down there for some of those storms and that. Let's see. Come on. It's not scrolling for me tonight. Jen's here, says Texas Chamber of Commerce weather. There you go. That's a good thing. Jody says, I was born and grew up in, Katrina says, I was born and grew up in Greensboro. I used to go to Greensboro all the time because I worked for a furniture company. And so Greensboro is the furniture capital of the world, if you didn't realize that. Moved to Charlotte. One of the companies I worked for was based in Charlotte. And then moved to Gaston, Colorado to live in the country when we had the kids. How nice is that? Inez says she's working on a Christmas quilt. Joydy, Katrina, Greensboro. I don't think so. Man, I've missed a lot of chat. Y'all been chitty chatty before I got here tonight. BBMK, hi y'all. Here, but working on a top, and I can't consistently talk and sew. I understand. And my problem is, like when I'm in the utility room in the other rooms now, I don't like to carry the laptop because I have TVs that I can watch YouTube on. And then the problem is I can't chat because you can't chat on the TV. So occasionally I run back and chat on the computer and then run back to do what I'm working on. And so rest assured, I watch a lot of videos, but I tend to be a stalker. That's what I feel like. Oh, Jen, I'm so jealous. Jen says she's sewing her binding. Must be nice to have a quilt quilted so you can get to the binding. Hey, Abby, thanks for being here tonight. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. And Stephanie's here. How amazing. Thanks for joining us tonight, Stephanie. There's Sally. Sally just said she had to buy a new mouse. So yes, I bought a new mouse as well. Just ordered it and it will be here tomorrow. So anyways, we're slowly getting there, but it has been a crazy week. I was so determined. I found the cutest Christmas panels and got those out yesterday, got those semi trimmed up, got my batting ready. And then I actually found the perfect backing because I bought two of the same, but I found the perfect backing at least for one panel. So I was determined today that Grace was going to work and Grace was going to run and that you all were going to get to see something off the long arm finally. So needless to say, after about an hour and a half of work, I finally broke down and called the neighbor down the street who does a lot of training on long arms, but she uses Bernina and uses obviously a different software, but that's all good, well and good. because she knows a lot about long arming. So she was gracious enough to come down. I did have the quilt loaded incorrectly, so we fixed that. And then we spent the next almost 2 hours trying to get the QCT software to work. We realized I thought I had upgraded to version 6, but for some reason it hadn't upgraded to the new version. We got that done. We got that working. Apparently, at some point, I was in simulation mode and not real mode. Needless to say, I did not get a quilt top done. It is loaded on the quilt, on little Gracie in there. I actually was nice to Gracie. I dusted her all up this morning, oiled her, talked nice to her. But by the time I was done with the software, I was anything but in a nice mood. So technology has not been my friend today. And, it happens. Hey, Maureen, thanks for joining. So I did not get the quilt top quilted. I think we finally, at the very end, figured out maybe what was going on. But at that point, I had just spent 2 hours doing it. I needed to get ready for the live. I had a couple other things I wanted to do. And I'll be honest, I just was not in the mood to fool with it anymore. So I will try maybe one night this week to do some stitching on the long arm and see if I can at least get that first panel done. If not, I'm in Shady Pines this weekend up north at the park home. And if that's the case, Gracie will have to sit in anticipation of when she actually gets to stitch out. But we did get the quilt top loaded. We did get all 3 layers on there, and we did get things basted. So all of those are good steps, right? So I gave up using the red grippers. She had watched a video around using the So-Type magnets. I did that. I think I'm going to like them much better. And I think it will actually help me load the quilt faster. I think if I could ever just get 1 or 2 done, especially on my own, I'll get it figured out. But it just takes a while, and we'll get there. Sally says she is still cutting very slowly the strips for Mazed. I get that. That's why I bought the jelly roll. See, I cheated. Russ says, at least you learned a lot. Sally says, 1 step at a time. Danelle says, hey, John, how are you doing, love? Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate that. See, Jody, good encourager, right? At least I'm going in the right direction. At least I've got a quilt top on the stupid thing, right? So that in itself is a big deal. So I'm very happy about that. I do want to sew tonight because I do have things that I need to work on and get done. But I did want to show you, I was playing around today, and I thought I'd really like to do something different and simple for Christmas, maybe 1 or 2 more Christmas gifts. And I found this on Fat Quarter Shop today called the Charming Christmas Quilt Pattern. It is a free pattern that you can download. And if I remember later, I will try to put that in put the link down below for you all. But it's really a cute Christmas tree, all made out of a charm pack. And so I think it's 2 charm packs, actually. Yeah, it takes 68 5-inch squares, but it's got rectangle squares and all that in it. Obviously, it's got like the half square triangles to build the tree out. But I just thought this was such a cute pattern. So yes, I needed 1 more project to add to the list. And anyways, I found that. So if you all are interested in that, it is a really cute pattern sitting out there. I did get some Tula Pink in today that I had forgot that I bought. So I now have enough Tula Pink in 1/2 yards, 1 yards, and a lot of fat quarters. So I ended up putting a whole drawer together just for Tula Pink. So Tula Pink now has their own place in life. And so that is that. And I am going to work on Mazed tonight. So if you remember from Labor Day, that is the pattern that we all started. I would be curious to know how you all are doing. If you did the pattern, if you liked it, what yours is turning out to look like. I am so thrilled with the way my squares are turning out. I just think they're adorable. It's definitely going to be a busy pattern, but you know what? Grinch is just busy. And I think probably what I may end up doing is once I get all these done, I may cheat and run down to the quilt club because we have nice big walls that we can pin these up on. Because of all the space I've taken, I just don't have good space to pin these up anymore. And I think this quilt is going to lend itself to really needing some layout and arrangement. And I think I want to get it up where I can really see it and play with it. Because typically I would just do it on my bed. I've got a king size bed. So I usually just go in and throw it on the bed. But I just think it's going to take more than that to get it done. So if that's the case, I will probably do that. But with that said, if you all did do the maze pattern, if you've got that done, or how far along you are, feel free to drop that on our Facebook page. I would love to see some of the stuff that you're working on. If you don't have Facebook, but would still like to share your pattern, just drop it. Drop an email to me with a picture, and I can post it on Facebook for you, and maybe do some postings here, or at least get it on the site. And so feel free to email me at john@guyscraft2. So, hey, Lawayne, welcome for coming in. I was just about to ask you about this when you mentioned it. See, it's just my mind's just on track there today. Hey, Dale, thanks for being here. Dale said he loves the Grinch fabric. I have to say, I wasn't overly excited necessarily when I bought the jelly roll because it cuts out so much of the pattern because you're only getting a 2.5-inch strip. But then when I started sewing these together, I was like, wow, this is the perfect pattern for this jelly roll, I think. So I am really anxious to get that done, get these and see how they turn out, because I do think it's going to be so cool. All right, not only sewn a couple of times in my new setup, so it's going to take me a minute to get used to things again. So I hope you all have had an amazing weekend. Mine has been very busy with just life. And just seems to be like that time of year right now for some reason. Oh my gosh. And somehow I sit here and talk and still manage to sew this incorrectly. What does that tell you about the way technology and the way my day has been? That the first two pieces I sewed together tonight requires Jack the Ripper. So it is what it is. This coming week, I'm hoping to have a much calmer week. I don't know what. I felt like something was in the water. And I just really wanted to escape life last week. It just felt like having that couple of days off and being able to be up north and just get in some cooler weather, doing the lives with Russ, and then doing my live on Labor Day and all that. It just, I don't know, I just was loving life to its fullest. And then when I got back, it was like, oh Lord, you're killing me. Okay, now I know what I did. All right, I sewed the wrong direction. I had the pieces laid together correctly. I just sewed it in the wrong direction. And I made sure to bring the directions in tonight because it's been long enough since Monday. I knew I wouldn't remember how to put these together to make them sew correctly. And I was right. I didn't remember. So it is what it is. All right, there we go. All right, now I got life going again. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this week is calmer. This week isn't near as wild. That folks are learning to behave and get along, because that's what my job is trying to teach people to be nice to one another, do unto others as you treat others the way you want to be treated. All of those fun things. That's what my job is. And it just amazes me sometimes, because I did teach middle school for 3 years, and sometimes I feel like I'm back in school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and we allowed you to have children and be parents, because it just amazes me sometimes what how people want to treat each other or just what they want to argue about. Like, really? Come on, folks, grow up. Let's learn to get along. But if they did, I guess I wouldn't have a job, right? So, and I need a job because I like buying things and I like buying toys and I like having all my goodies. And so, definitely got to work at least a few more years. I am hopefully in the process of making my last machine purchase. At least that's what I'm telling myself for a while. So I absolutely love my Juki. This one happens to be the Juki TL2000. I have tried to straight stitch on everything, and what I'm finding is the only one that I can do a good 1/4 inch seam on and love life is this Juki. And so I'm actually buying the new TL18 Collector's Edition. So this little fellow will end up at the park home, and the new one will end up down here. So again, look how great this I am so excited about this pattern. This pattern will definitely get used again. It is, I do, so Sally says she's still cutting her 2.5 inch strips. I do think this is a lot of work, right? So it's not just um, sewing this and putting this together, but once you just sew the strips and then go back and do the cut it, measurement cuts and all that. Mine were about a 1/4 inch bigger than they needed to be, so I had to go back and trim on top of that. So it's just, I do think it's not a quick, simple pattern. It does require some work, but I do really like the way this one's turning out. So I have multiple jelly rolls, so I'm sure at some point another jelly roll is going to come out. Let's see, I'm missing chat again. Hey, Jackie, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in tonight. Oh, Katrina says she made a pillow for the wedding quilt that she's using next week. She says she's been retired 13 years and had to go back and head back to school nightmares this year. I understand. I can only imagine. I tell you what, if I get out, I'm out. Well, Sally said it's been 17 years for her, and I bet Sally's not missing one day of that either. Jody says, I need a Juki. I think maybe. Tell you what, it's just that 1/4 inch seam is a lot harder to get to than you ever give yourself credit. Trina says she scared herself so bad she woke up saying she's not going back to school. Hey, Charlotte. Thanks for being here tonight. Danelle says, just got dinner in the oven. It's already smelling amazing. I bet she is an amazing cook. Oh, Tennessee girls, they know how to cook down in the South. And yes, I know she's in Michigan now, but she was raised in the South. Oh, Lil Wayne says he had to run to get Panda Express tonight after listening to Danelle. I didn't get to really do anything today because normally I enjoy um, listening to folks on the weekend. I did catch Sean yesterday. I did catch Russ's channel. I did catch a few, but today I just kept YouTube off because I knew I needed to concentrate on what I was doing, and I did, but still didn't get anything accomplished. But those days are coming. I will get something done next week, and we will make it happen. So I am anxious. I feel better. I think just the fact that I now think I have learned and figured out how to load the stupid thing. So I think that's part of the battle, right? The sad thing is the easy part should be programming the machine to run and do what you want it to do. And that now is where I'm stuck. So there are a few more YouTube videos I know in my future, and I will get it done. I think It's definitely not intuitive software, which I think is interesting because you would think with the audience that buys those, not a industrial type audience. So I would have thought, especially for knowing that. And mine runs off a Microsoft Surface, and I have never been a Microsoft fan. I will never be a Microsoft fan. I love my Apples, and I do everything Apple at home. But this, certain things just require Microsoft, and the QCT did, and so that's part of it. I was so good last week. A couple of weeks ago, I turned on and I thought updated, did all the downloads for QCT because I didn't want that to be an issue when I got started. And then what turned out to be the issue was the fact that when I turned it on this morning to get started, Microsoft had all these updates. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I purposely went through this, like a week ago to make sure I didn't have to stand here and wait on updates. And yet I had to wait on updates for Microsoft. So again, just not my favorite group in the world. And yes, I run Microsoft all day at work. Odell said, ooh, chicken with mushrooms on lo mein noodles. I love chicken and mushrooms. You're all making me hungry. I haven't even had dinner yet. Danelle's got, so she live streams everything. Jack Girl's busy. I don't see how she has time for my else. She is always on the YouTube. Just crazy how well that's worked out. We're definitely getting these squares done tonight, folks. Definitely getting it done. I got to get this one done so I can get on to something else. I actually did decide that I probably needed to call my daughter and ask her what she might like for a quilt versus just stacking them everywhere. But I'm hoping she picks a Christmas quilt first because I doubt she's going to get a Halloween quilt unless Grace starts working pretty well. And then the problem is I still got to trim it, and I've still got to take it to, and then I still got to do the binding. So it's still early enough in September. It's possible she could end up with a Halloween quilt too. You just never know. Well, yeah, see, you're all doing all those other projects. I can't. I have so many quilt kits and all that. I can't even keep up with the projects I'm doing. And it seems like a lot of people like the cotton cuts and some of those. I'm just not ready for those. I did get the subscription box from Open Gate Quilts. I was really happy with a few things that she had in there and thought those turned out really cute. So I do plan on trying to get that, especially the Halloween out of the boo box. I really like that quilt top, so I would like to get that one done. But I think I already have 5 others done for Halloween, so I don't even know. I may have to start walking up and down the street asking people if they want quilt tops because I definitely need to be gifting them a lot more frequently than I have been. Yeah. Well, I put this one on backwards, but I didn't. I just love these colors for Christmas. The Grinch just brings such a smile and such a pleasure to your face. It's just different. So I did spend time yesterday getting all of these stitched out and getting these going. This goes this way. So I did finish watching Royal Pains. So no more Royal Pains for me. I have managed to get through all of those and started Madam Secretary. I always liked that series when it was on. And I don't watch network television. So if it is not on Netflix or somewhere, I probably don't know it and haven't seen it. But I do enjoy sometimes just I enjoy having the TV on. So that's the problem a lot of times with YouTubes. I catch a lot of YouTubes, but a lot of them are in the background. So I have to really be conscious sometimes about who's popped on and what's going on. So like when Stephanie comes on, I usually always want to know what she's doing and hear about how things are going for her. So to do that, I have to remember to watch her versus trying to just let her play in the background, because she always has some neat stuff on her channel, and I always learn so much watching her. And so, those are the ones that you really have to think about. Plus, I've started doing a lot of save for later, because the end of September, I have to go to a work conference in I don't even know what I've done. This thing is in so many different directions. I have to go to a work conference in Nashville. And so when I fly, I tend to download a lot of YouTubes. So I am a YouTube subscriber. So it does cost me $12 a month or whatever, because I've been subscribing for a while. So they haven't raised my rates yet. But I do like subscribing, because that way if I see downloads, so when I fly, I tend to watch a lot of YouTube videos, which is interesting, because then I usually am sitting next to somebody and they want me to explain about quilting or sewing or something. So a lot of times it generates conversation on the plane, which I have to say, I have flown and traveled so much for work and that over the years that I tend not to be overly friendly on a plane. And it's just because I've traveled and flown so much for work that I tend to get on, zone into my own little world, put my noise canceling headphones on, and just kick back. So that is just the way I happen to travel and happen to like it. Suddenly says, I love to cook, but not just for me. I get hungry for things for more than one, then give away to my single male friends, then enjoy home cooking. See, I'd like to be one of her single male friends and enjoy some of that home cooking, Sally. Just too far away from me right now. I will say I still cook. I am just not a eat out person, and I am definitely not a fast food person. So I do tend to eat out at work because we have a full service cafeteria. So I do tend to eat meals there, but just because I'm lazy and I don't like taking my lunch and that. Plus, I never know when I'm going to get lunch and what that day is going to look like. So I do tend to eat out of the cafeteria at work, but I usually make dinner here every night. So, but like tonight is just a cheat night for me usually, and so I love Red Robin. I love their steak fries. So I do buy those. I put them in the air fryer and warm those up. I buy them frozen, and then I actually have the Red Robin seasoned salt put on them. And so tonight that will probably be my dinner, and that's probably my entire dinner. and I could personally live on potatoes. I just love potatoes. Look at this. I just love the way this looks right now. You know, say that. But it's exciting. Now I got to figure out like what my next project is. So it'll be interesting next weekend when you all tune in. I will be at Shady Pines, but I have no idea what project I will be working on up there. I haven't decided what, and to be honest, I don't even remember after being there for so many days what's left. So I may have to. I may grab something to take just in case I need to cut something because I can't remember if I left anything up there that could be cut or that was already cut. So I'll have to figure that out when I get there on Thursday night. See how that goes. I did play bunco this week, and so there was 88 of us playing bunco on Wednesday night. I like my little bunco. Such a nice group that goes. For us here in the retirement community, for us to play bunco, it costs $1 to play bunco. And and of course, I have purple dice because purple's my favorite color. I have a purple name tag with purple dice, and we play for $1. And I actually tied with one other person for the most buncos. I had 5 that night, which means I got, we split a jackpot of $26. So $15, which means now I have enough money to play for a few more weeks. So it kind of pays for itself. It's $10 a year to join, to be a member here in the community. And that $10 actually buys our holiday dinner luncheon that we have every year. So that's included in your membership. And then the $1 that they charge you. And whoever has the most buncos or at the end of the evening. So Jody says, what is bunco? Bunco is a dice game that you play with 3 dice. You play in rounds. You play with 4 people. And the first round is you're looking for all ones. Round 2 is 2s. Round 3 is 3s. All the way down to 6. And then you start over. A bunco itself is whatever number you're rolling for. If you're rolling for 4s, if you roll all 3 4s, that's a bunco, and that's worth 21 points. And so you score. It's a fairly quick moving game, but it's just basically rolling dice and calculating stuff. And so it's a pretty nice social night. It usually takes, with 88 people, we usually play in 2 hours, and I mean almost. So we start at 6 o'clock. Around 6:50, we take about a 10-15 minute break. And then we come back and play for another hour. So I'm always out by 8 o'clock usually. And it's just a fun night. Different people rotate bringing snacks. One week somebody brought ice cream for snacks, which the biggest style ever. If you really want to see me act like a kid, bring me ice cream because I love my ice cream. So that was really a cool night because we got ice cream that night. But most of them bring Chex Mix or something like that, which is fine. But it's just a nice social night for us all to kind of hang out in the community. It's just one of many clubs that we have. I belong to the Quilt Club. I belong to an LGBT club. I belong to the Boomers. I belong to the Bowling Association for bowling. So I enjoy that club. So just different ones, but the maximum, most expensive club here, I think, is $20 a year. So none of them are very expensive because most folks here are retired and on fixed incomes. So, but it's just a nice social night. What they are starting to figure out is there's more and more folks like me moving in that want the peace and quiet, relaxation of living in a community like this, while at the same time working So, I think you're going to find, our generation may be one of the last ones that can actually retire. I think you're going to find more and more folks that are working later in life. And as such, it's going to be more challenging for folks to retire, especially if you've seen what the economies look like lately. It's just crazy. Hey, Glenda, thanks for being here tonight. Oh, I used to love going to Atlantic City. Last time I went there was very depressing because you could tell Atlantic City was not Atlantic City, or not what it used to be in its heyday. And I liked playing the slots, but back in the day, you could play penny and nickel slots back in the day is what I used to play, and it didn't feel like it cost you a fortune. Nowadays, I feel like it costs you a fortune, and that's playing penny slots. But what folks don't realize is every time they're spinning, you're maxing out. You're spinning $1.50, $2 every spin. It's like, don't remember spending that much money back in the day. I will say though, up by the park home, we do have a Indian reservation, of course, and we have a nice casino there. The only problem with the casino is they're back to smoke. It's not a casino, and they don't have a non-smoking section, and it is just, it's just it just overtakes you. I did go in. I won $450 last time. So I do enjoy going and playing slots for a little bit, but I'll be honest, I can only take it for a very short amount of time. I'm an ex-smoker, which we are the worst, right? They say, but I just, it smells just really good to me. Man, this is coming together quick, much quicker than I thought it was going to. Candace says, I'm taking retirement as soon as I'm old enough. Too many quilts to make and work. Amen to that, girlfriend. I hear you. One of the things I'm really hoping to get done is the Riley Blake door banners. I'm hoping to start those later this year because, as you know, I bought two, and I have those. I have not got the first one done, but now I have the Caterpillar and two ones. And I'm really hoping to get caught up on that. Because I really would like to have the one to hang here in the house. And I think I'm going to take the other one to hang at the office. And it's funny because different people at work know I quilt, they know I sew, and they're always asking me, like, so you never bring anything in. When are you bringing something in? And so I just haven't been. I don't know. I feel awkward walking into work carrying a quilt or two going, hey, look what I did. I show them pictures, but, it's not the same appreciation's not there. It's not, things just don't photograph as well. So we'll see. Jackie says, love your setup, looking for ideas. Girlfriend, let me tell you, this is the second bedroom that I've taken over in this week. This has been the 8th or 9th arrangement I have had. This room twisted and turned every direction in the last few days. So much so that actually I wake up in the morning going, oh, you didn't try it this way, so try this. And what I really need to do is win the lottery. I'd love to win the lottery and just buy another house or a small retail space where I could just have everything set up with all this room and just make it work. I will say that is one thing I missed about living on the East Coast. The last house I owned on the East Coast had a full finished basement, walkout basement even. And I would kill to have that here. Because that basement was set up perfectly to accommodate all of this. Probably the worst part about it was it just didn't have a very high ceiling in it, but we could have made that work. um, that's the things that you miss depending on where you live in the country. Because I know when I lived in South Carolina, it was funny if you lived on one side of Interstate 44. Um, if you lived on that side of the interstate, it was all Georgia red clay, and if you lived on this side of the interstate, it was all sandy foundations and that. And depending on which side you lived on, determined whether or not any of the homes had basements. And you get out here, there's no basements to be found anywhere around here. And so if you find one, it's because it was built on the side of a cliff and wasn't necessarily meant to be a basement, just another level of the house. But I think that's the hardest thing is trying to figure out how to do your setup. It took me forever. Yes, she said that. So I call them baker's racks, but yes, they make all the difference. I have had them slid all over the rooms this week. And yes, we have 34 folks watching us tonight. Thank each and every one of you for being here. That means quite a bit. It's just amazing. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I can't believe where this channel has gone in the last, just in the last couple of months and that. So my granddaughter asked me the other day, I talked to her, she goes, how's our channel going? How's our TV thing going? It's like, yeah, girlfriend, I don't know when you get to be back on. She's such a little ham, but I had such a good time with her at the beach. And we will be together at the beach again this year. So I've already made those reservations. I'm actually hoping to talk to the Quilting on the Beach, I think is the name of the store down there. I'd really like to interview them for the channel on that. They have such a cool store, and I bought some really neat stuff last year. So I thought that might be fun. So we'll see how that works out. And then I'll be with them for Easter, but I probably won't get to see the grandkids again until next year. I don't usually get to see them in the fall and winter. Really partly because they're too young yet. My daughter and that's not thrilled about trying to fly in that with the 5-year-old who has way too much energy, and he's just kind of crazy, but he's doing really well in school. So it'll probably be another couple of years before she ever attempts to get out here to see me. But when she does, it'll be cool. And I love my little princess and my little grandkids. But I won't go back east. I try not to go back east in the wintertime because I moved here to avoid the wintertime. So I have no desire to be back east. Hey guys, I am thinking about doing some things for the holidays and doing other programs. I really absolutely love doing the Labor Day weekend and doing the Labor Day show. So probably looking at doing more shows like that on the holiday. Would love to know your thoughts. Did you like doing the sew along? What was that like? Did you like that I picked a pattern and we tried to follow the pattern? Would you rather see more guests and more variety on the show that day? So looking at maybe inviting a few others. I just thought it was fun, especially for us that don't have family close to that. So we want to be together for a little bit on the holidays. As our YouTube family grows, I think that is just so important. And you guys have just meant so much to me in the last year and that. So any thoughts you have, feel free to email me, John@GuysCraft2, or drop something on the Facebook page. But I think that would be really fun. Brian, thanks for saying that. I just think it's just a fun way for us to be together. If nothing else, just to chat and watch you all chat back and forth. Sally says she's still bummed that she missed it. She will get there. Sally, we will get you caught up. It was not the last one, and we will definitely be doing another one and figuring out how that best makes sense. I won't be doing one, I can tell you, New Year's Eve, only because I am going to Stitch in Heaven for their New Year's Eve show. But all the other holidays, I would really to try to make that a regular thing. 3 hours seemed to be just right to me. It's nice. I think a lot of you stayed on uh, for the most part, but it was meant to be that you could, drop in, drop out if you wanted to. And so I think I'm going to try to use that same type of setup again, and we'll see how we can make that happen. And just enjoy getting to be together. All right. Tell you what, you don't realize how many, what a variety of colors Mr. Grinch comes in until you start doing this. And then it's so funny because when I got this one, I'll have to show you this fabric in a second. When I started cutting this one, I was like, that's not the Grinch. They snuck in the Cat in the Hat. And it's just so funny because he really does, in a way, look at like the Cat in the Hat. But he's not. It is Mr. Grinch. He's a mean one, as you may remember. That's what I need to do. The first quilt I ever purchased was from Sun City here, and they had gnomes, and it was all in Disney. How cool would it be to do a gnome quilt and do it all in different things of Grinch or even Dr. Seuss? But I don't know why it's just this red and this black, the way he showed up. And when you kind of step back and just take a quick glance at it, it for some reason looked like Cat in the Hat. And I was like, Lord, where am I pulling Cat in the Hat from? I have no idea. Oops. Melissa says, I say yes to holiday sew-alongs. Awesome. BBMK says, I'm stopping the top for now. Dale says, yes, absolutely. Sally says, my favorite shop is So Yell Quilting in Vegas, and they have a 12-hour live on New Year's Eve. Oh, that's awesome. I need to watch them a little bit more. I do enjoy them. For some reason, they're just not on my rotation as much as some of the others. And I'll be honest, I haven't watched Wrapup that much at Stitch in Heaven. What really got me interested in doing that was Stephanie, when she went down and did the applique retreat. I have not done any retreats, so I thought it would be fun and something different. And I'm one of those that I really like to do something different for New Year's Eve. I don't want to be sitting in the house. And I decided this New Year's Eve, did I want to be good or did I just want to go be bad somewhere? And I decided, believe it or not, I'm going to be good. So I chose to go to Stitch in Heaven. But Lord, I can't imagine trying to put a 12-hour show together. That must be a great day. I will say I used to love Vegas, and pre-COVID used to go to Vegas quite a bit. Like a lot of things about Vegas, but I'm not a gambler, so I always went to the shows, the buffets, other things. The buffets have never really come back since COVID. The crowd's a lot different down there than it has been in the past since COVID. But I thought the other day, it's still such a simple getaway from Arizona. We can actually drive it in about 4.5 hours or so, which I don't know that I want to drive. Used to be we could fly to Vegas for like 75, 80 bucks, but the last few times I've checked for flights up there, it's been anything but cheap. But we'll see. I thought, how cool would it be to maybe take a quilting trip and go up there and go to So Yell and that. But again, like a lot of the stores, they don't do, they always do their classes and that during the week. And I think that's the one thing, if I retire and can get into doing more classes and teaching in that. I think what I would really like to do is to um, become more of try to be more inclusive and enjoy being off during the week on Monday, Tuesdays, and enjoy sewing a little bit more on Saturday and Sunday, knowing that I'm catching some of the folks that work and they're just not able to get into the classes and that like we would like. That's one of the things I do want to get Three Dudes Quilting. I'd like to get one of them on the channel soon. I do need to get, I do want to get, there's a lot of folks I want to get on. I want to get Kelly on. Danelle's not been on my channel yet. I've been on hers. I definitely need to get Sean on the channel. Sean helped me so much getting started, man. He's just so amazing. Plus, who doesn't just love to sit and listen to him talk, right? I love to listen to his Australian accent. I think that's so cool. I watch everything that Andy Sews puts out, right? Because I love the bags and that he does. Who doesn't enjoy the English accent? It's just so amazing. Oh yeah. Somebody asked what I'm working on. I'm working on Mazed from Labor Day. So it is, of course, a Villa Rosa pattern. It's one of the last Villa Rosa patterns I'll probably work on for a while. As you know, I'm a big fan of Villa Rosa, but I also don't want to be the Villa Rosa guy, and that's all I'm able to do is Villa Rosa. I do like their patterns. I think they're easy to go together. I think they're easy to understand, but I got a lot of other cool ones out there. I bought one. Stephanie, she at least made it to the cutting table. I'm really anxious to get hers cut so I can sew on it, but I haven't done that yet. So I've got several that I need to really work on and get going. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll have to see how this week goes because I can tell you, if it's anything like last week, it's not going to be. I don't know that I'll get anything done. Brian says, I'm not going anywhere on New Year's Eve. I'm going to check it out, Sally. Jordy says, we're all going to be together New Year's Eve. You're killing me. I'm going to be in Texas, be with a whole different group. But one of the things that they are having on New Year's Eve in Texas is Death by Chocolate. So I will be chocolate out for sure. Wayne says, I love Adam So's English accent. Yes. He's just such a cute guy. He's got such a cute personality. So it's just always fun. BBMK says, I need to be better about watching everyone. I get stuck in the rabbit hole of true crime on here. I completely understand how you feel. Dale says, be careful. They're addictive. Yes, those shows are addictive. Interesting enough, I'm a Roku person. So if you all happen to have Roku because you need something else to watch, Roku did a Murder House series. And they're only like 25-minute episodes, but I've only seen them on Roku. But it's about these folks who got murdered in a house and the couple that goes in and buys the house. And we had one here in Phoenix that had a bad crime in that. It was in the master bedroom. They were talking about after they moved in. It just felt spooky at times. And they actually took all the carpet out of the master bedroom and different things. But then they did black light testing in that and still found blood and DNA on like the subflooring and that. So they had to have all that taken out. It was really interesting to see people talk about buying these murder houses because you just don't think about it. Oh, Charlotte says the So Yell New Year's Eve show is when you get a chance to get their subscription for the upcoming year. So I may have to try to make sure I figure out how to jump on and see what that is about. Sally says she's been a fan for years. Brick and mortar store is amazing. Yeah, see, I do miss getting to their brick and mortar in that. I'm excited to go to Stitch in Heavens and see what their brick and mortar is like. Jackie says so yeah, it's weekend. I'll be packing. June 1, I'll be here before I am ready. Amen to that. If time just doesn't fly and get away from us, I mean, tell me about it. What else is going on? Stephanie, I've been on True Crime Addict for years. Recently found Dr. Granat. His narc is right up my alley. I tell you what, it is interesting, right? Because NCIS was such a popular show, some of those, and so it's funny. We've went from that to more reality TV. I can tell you, I am not a reality TV fan whatsoever. But when it comes to like the true crimes and that, oh, what was the guy that did the Timex commercials and that back in the day? And he ended up having like a cold case show or whatever. I can still hear the theme music, but it was all about cold cases from years ago. Folks that they were looking for and chasing down. So I don't know, just kind of crazy. All right, look, folks, I have absolutely got the last panel done. How adorable is this panel? I am really excited to get this laid out. Now I've got to take it back, iron all of them, get them pressed out really nice, measure them to make sure that they hit the right measurements, and then get them up on the wall so I can see how I want to pair the pinks and the reds and the blues and the baby blues and the greens. This is definitely going to be one of those quilts that is very colorful. It's crazy. So, guys, thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you give me a thumbs up if you like what we're doing in that. Tell your friends, neighbors, and everything about what's going on. I have no idea what I'm going to do live next Sunday, but we will get that figured out. If you've got some of your amazed quilt tops done, if you did the Labor Day show with me, again, feel free to send me emails with those, and I will get those posted. And if you're part of the Facebook channel, you can drop them over there too. So, as always, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. And until next time, happy crafting.